is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
Today in the headlines, the conviction of MNLF Chairman Misuari for graft has led to accusations of betrayal against President Bongbong Marcos Jr., with the MNLF leadership condemning him as a traitor. Meanwhile, the armed forces of the Philippines reiterated that China's actions in the West Philippine Sea are illegal following China's announcement of a fishing ban in the disputed waters. In international news, Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a stark warning to Western countries, cautioning them about serious consequences if they allow Ukraine to use their weapons to strike Russia. I'm Angel Pastor. Newsline World starts now. The leadership of the Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF, has spoken out after the Sandigan Bayan 3rd Division convicted the group's chairman. J. Mondihar reports.
Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF Chairman Misuari, endorsed President Bongbong Marcos Jr. for the 2022 elections. Misuari's support was crucial for BBM due to his bitter experience with his father, the late dictator Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr. during martial law. In fact, Misuari stated in 2022 that the sins of the father should not be inherited by the son. Therefore, the MNLF leader supported the unity of then BBM and Vice President Sara Duterte. However, during the term of the president he supported, the Sandigan Bayan 3rd Division issued a conviction against him in a graft case. The complaint pertains to Misuari's term as former ARMM governor in years 2000 and 2001. Some high-ranking MNLF officials are dismayed by the situation. According to MNLF Davao State Chair Bong Olamit, the case against the old Misuari is fabricated.
It's a totally fabricated case para lang mahikta nila ang tigulang, ang chairman.
Olamit then questioned why the Marcos Jr. administration treated Misuari this way despite his support in the last election.
It's very old, pero anaon pagyapon nila despite sa tabang. I-quote na ko ang iyahang tabang, the sin of the father cannot be inherited by the son. During the campaign, napuslan yun ni BBM quote ni Chairman Misuari.
Misuari is known to be close to former President Rodrigo Duterte. Olamit suspects it is why their leader is now being targeted.
Yes, deliberate yan, planado yan. And then, alam nila si Chairman Misuari at saka si former President Duterte, they are just like brothers. So, ewan ko lang kung ano ang grand plan talaga nila. Pero this is a total crackdown sa MNLF.
Olamit condemned the actions of the Marcos administration towards the MNLF leader. Their ground supporters are also furious. They call President Marcos Jr.
Talagang traitor talaga ito na government. Wala silang, hindi talaga sincere itong kapayapaan.
They have not yet spoken to Chairman Noor, but they plan to call a meeting to discuss their next steps. They're also planning a protest in Davao City to express their condemnation to the national government.
The more they suppress the situation, nag-alburuto ang ground. Hindi lang nagsasalita sila. Kaya nga ako, naging mouthpiece ako ng sentiment sa ground para malalaman nila. I am challenging the government, lalo na to as a papro. Settle the case of the chairman.
For Government of Philippines, MJ Mondihar, SMNI News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines reaffirms that China's actions in the West Philippine Sea are illegal. This comes after China's new announcement to implement a fishing ban in the disputed territories. Almar Forsuelo reports.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, encourage Filipino fishermen to continue with their livelihood. This comes after China's announcement of a fishing ban in the disputed waters in the West Philippine Sea. In a press conference on Wednesday, Commodore Roy Vincent Trinidad, spokesperson of the Philippine Navy for the West Philippine Sea, said that the entire armed forces of the Philippines is ready to protect Filipino fishermen.
Yes, sa ating mga kababayan na nangingisda, lalong-lalo sa Baho de Masinloc, I would like to say that the Philippine Navy and the entire armed forces is fully supportive of your actions, of your livelihood, which has been a traditional source of income. Huwag kayong matakot, magpatuloy lamang kayo at the AFP and the entire government is behind you.
The official emphasized that all actions by Beijing are illegal and purely intimidation.
All the actions of China, which is an implementation of the Coast Guard law, which took effect 01 February 2021, are illegal. They are against international law. Our Commander-in-Chief said they are all unacceptable. The SND said they are provocative. China is out of tune, out of step, out of their minds.
Trinidad added that no Filipino or even foreign fishermen have been arrested since China issued the statement that they would apprehend anyone entering their territory.
The pronouncement started in 2021 when the law was passed. And each year there is a pronouncement. I have not come across any report that it was implemented. Yes, I have not come across any report of not only Filipino fishermen but also other maritime ASEAN fishermen, like coming from Indonesia, Malaysia, or Vietnam.
Because of this, the AFP is more determined to fulfill its duty to protect the sovereignty of the Philippines.
All actions of China that will threaten our national sovereignty, our territorial integrity, and the welfare of the Filipino people will only serve to strengthen the Philippine Navy's and the AFP's resolve to perform its mandate. This will further serve as a unifying call, not only for the entire armed forces, but for all Filipinos as well.
Colonel Francel Margaret Padilla, spokesperson of the AFP, emphasized that all actions taken by the Philippines to resolve the disputes in the West Philippine Sea are legal.
We would like to emphasize that our actions are grounded with legal principles and being Filipinos' peaceful advocacy, aiming to resolve our disputes through diplomatic channels.
For God and my beloved Philippines, Almar Forzuelo, SMNI News.
Up next, Iran has significantly increased its uranium stockpile. According to the latest report from the United Nations nuclear watchdog, this development raises new concerns about the country's nuclear ambitions and its compliance with international agreements. Thailand's former prime minister, who recently returned from self-imposed exile and was released from parole this year, will face trial next month on charges of insulting the monarchy. Newsline World will be back after the break. Russian President Vladimir Putin has issued a stark warning, cautioning Western countries about the serious consequences if they permit Ukraine to use their weapons to strike Russia. This also follows NATO members' call to allow Ukraine to use their weapons to strengthen attacks on Russia after over 2 years of war. Putin said that this constant escalation can lead to serious consequences. Putin also said that Europe, especially smaller countries, should be aware of what they are playing with. The Russian leader also underscored the need for this careful consideration before contemplating any strikes deep into Russian territory. Meanwhile, Putin also stated that while he believes Western military instructors are in Ukraine as mercenaries, the official sending of countries is a challenge and a step toward a serious conflict in Europe. Moreover, it will only exacerbate the situation, potentially leading to a global conflict. On Monday, Ukraine's top commander announced ongoing talks in France regarding the deployment of military instructors to their country. In connection with this, Putin warned that Russia will do whatever it deems necessary regardless of who is in Ukrainian territory. Meanwhile, according to EU Foreign Affairs Chief Josep Borrell, European countries remain divided on sending military instructors to Ukraine. Iran has further increased its stockpile of uranium, according to the latest report from the United Nations nuclear watchdog. Here is Melchizedek Cadiz for the report.
Assalamu alaikum. A report from the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, revealed a significant increase in Iran's uranium stockpile in the past 4 months. Iran currently has 142.1 kilograms of uranium enriched to up to 60%, according to the nuclear watchdog. The data meant there was an increase of 20.6 kilograms since the agency published its last report in February. Uranium enriched at 60% purity is just a few steps away from weapons-grade levels of 90%. The quantity is enough to make nuclear weapons such as atomic bombs. Rafael Grossi, the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, visited Iran earlier this month to revive talks on cooperation in monitoring Iran's nuclear activities. Grossi admitted the negotiations in reviving such a sensitive issue is not an easy task. Both sides revived talks on cooperation after Iran banned several inspectors from checking potential nuclear sites in the country in September 2023 and denied any plans to create nuclear weapons. Iran accused the United States, Britain, France, and Germany of politicizing the IAEA board for their own interests. The report, published at the time when Iran prepares for a snap election set on the 28th of June, following the death of late Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi, which rocked the country's internal politics. Reporting from Kuwait, I am Melchizedek Cadiz, your global citizen correspondent for God and for our beloved country, the Philippines.
Thailand's former prime minister, who just returned from self-imposed exile and was released from parole this year, will face trial next month on charges of insulting the monarchy. Chotmong Kompisang Maigozon has the report.
Former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra is not yet out of the woods after a royal defamation case filed against him has been revived. Thaksin Shinawatra will be indicted for defaming the monarchy, according to Thai prosecutors. Thaksin's indictment was originally scheduled for Wednesday, the 29th of May, but got postponed after showing proof that he has COVID-19. His indictment was rescheduled on June 18. The royal defamation case dates back to his interview with foreign media in May 2015. Thailand's lèse majesté law is among the strictest in the world. The law deems it illegal to defame, insult, or threaten the monarch of Thailand, which includes the king, queen, heir apparent, heir presumptive, or regent. Penalties range from 3 to 15 years imprisonment for each offense. Thaksin was ousted from power during a military coup in 2006 and returned after 15 years of self-imposed exile. Upon his return, the 74-year-old billionaire was immediately arrested in August 2023 for charges related to corruption and abuse of power. He only served 6 months out of his reduced 8-year sentence and was released on parole on February 18 due to his age and health. Earlier this month, the former prime minister met with several ethnic armed groups as he seeks to play the role of a mediator in the ongoing conflict in Myanmar. The Thai government made it clear he is not an official representative but acting on a personal level. Reporting from Thailand, I'm Chatmong Kompisang Maigozon, your global citizens correspondent for SM9 News Channel.
A Defense summit held in Australia claimed more than 1,200 Chinese spies are operating in the country. The startling statement could endanger their warming ties following years of trade war and political differences. Trisha Molina reports.
China was under the spotlight in a major defense conference held in Australia's capital, Canberra. A startling claim that more than 1,200 Chinese spies are operating in Australia was heard during the Defending Australia Summit attended by military leaders. Deputy Prime Minister and Defense Minister Richard Marles said China's recent military drills off Taiwan and its defense buildup present challenges for Australia. Marles admitted the federal government wants to keep a strong relationship with China, the country's largest trading partner, but is attempting to reconcile its differences with the world's second largest economy. China denied allegations of spying and slammed the United States and the United Kingdom for imposing sanctions over alleged Chinese government-backed cyber attacks. Beijing called the move an act of political manipulation by Western allies. Reporting, this has been Trisha Molina, SMNI News.
The President of the United Arab Emirates traveled to South Korea as part of a two-day state visit. Grater Omori with the report.
UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan finally arrived in Seoul after his planned visit to South Korea last year got postponed due to tensions in the Middle East. Sheikh Mohammed's two-day state visit to South Korea ended on Wednesday. South Korea deployed 4 Air Force F-15 fighter jets to escort the UAE president's plane after it entered the country's air defense identification zone. The UAE president held meetings with top South Korean business leaders and attended a welcome dinner hosted by President Yoon. The two-day state visit focused on cooperation in advanced technology, defense, and energy. The South Korean president visited Abu Dhabi in January 2023, where both sides signed 13 memorandums of understanding in the fields of energy, arms, and climate change, among others. The UAE's direct investments in South Korea reached 2 billion dirhams or $544 million in 2023, based on government data. The trip is Sheikh Mohammed's first visit to South Korea since he was appointed as president in 2022. Reporting from Dubai, I'm Gratero Omor, your global citizen correspondent for SMNI News Channel.
And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the sun. Humility and sincerity are what counts in the character of a man. And that's all for this edition. For more news updates, you may visit SMNINewsChannel.com or follow us on our official social media accounts on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Angel Pastor, and this is Newsline World.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
Subscribe to SMNI News Channel and turn on the notification bell to keep you up to date. Also visit our official social media accounts and join our community on Viber and Telegram.